What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of R&P Podcast, giving you opinions on topics you've never asked for. I'm your host, PLAX. I'm here with my co-host, Rick. Rick, how you doing today, man?
I'm actually doing all right. It's finally smoothed out from Vegas. I'm back on my East Coast internal clock. My car.
Okay.
It was a recall issue, so I don't think most of it is coming out of my pocket. So that's a blessing.
Awesome. Okay.
And
how did you find that out? Did you have to
they called
call
me.
Somebody or something? Oh, they called you. Okay.
Yeah, because I mentioned it when I had to bring the car to the shop, and I guess when they were checking whatever, they was like, yes, that does have to do with the recall. So we're just gonna get that fixed. That there's nothing wrong with the tire or anything. So we're just gonna order the part, swap that out. And I was like, that's all you had to say, brother.
Oh, yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Click.
I damn near wanted to get off the phone the minute they said that. I wanted to bang it on them. I was like, that's all you had to say, buddy.
Yeah, all you had to say was that.
You could have texted me that.
Like, hey, big dog, you straight. You straight with the K.
Yeah, nah,
yeah,
for real.
Dog. No, that's good. That's good news, Rick.
No, blessings. Blessings all around.
Yep. Before we get real deep into the episode, we just wanted to say really quick, RIP to PNB Rock. At the time of this recording, or at the time that this comes out, it was last week that he was shot in a Waffle House in LA. Condolences to his family, his friends, and everybody that knew him and cared about him, and his fans. A good thing too, his song "Selfish" is #1 on Apple Music, which, I mean, unfortunately, he had to die for that to happen.
Yeah.
But it is #1 on Apple Music. Somebody did say that's kind of nuts because, it wasn't #1 before. Like, when he first came out, which it was a hot song. I thought it was #1 at one point, but apparently it wasn't. And the first time it's been #1 was him passing away. That is very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. That does go into the people giving you flowers when you're gone.
Yeah, I'm about to say, isn't that how it always is, though?
Yeah. I could agree with that, but I can't say I was partial to the Selfish song. That was a great song. I don't know what type of sauce he put into it. That shit just a banker. It's just a great fucking song. Like, he was hitting on all cylinders that day in the studio. But Rick, I do have something very I probably won't be taken too well because it's so fresh that I wanted to kind of get into.
Mm-hmm.
People, PNB getting killed got people talking about how rappers are getting killed at an alarming rate. Like 1 to 2 rappers have been killed every year since 2015 or something like that, right?
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even know that was a statistic.
Yeah, it was a statistic. I forgot. I don't think it was Complex, but it was one of them joints that mentioned
the Complex.
That
Shout
seems
out. Shout out
my
to
rap career seems so long ago. It just was literally.
Shout out to Goat.
Appreciate you. Yeah, but that I seen that statistic and I've seen people kind of upset and talking about it. And I talked to some people at work and stuff like that about it, and it's unfortunate and it shouldn't be like that. But a lot of the artists that got caught up in situations like that have checkered past. You see what I'm saying? Like, they was in gang violence. They didn't kill people. They didn't beat people up. They didn't sold drugs to people and stole and all that stuff. I'm not saying they deserve to die because of that, but I'm saying if you already were established in that life, and then whether you try to change your life or not, motherfuckers still remember you. You see what I'm saying? That don't change. Them people's feelings towards you don't change because you're I'm different now. Bro, you killed my cousin Ray Ray. You see what I'm saying? I'm not about to let that, with the Nipsey Hussle thing. I know people gonna get on my bumper about this probably. Nipsey Hussle was about it back in the day. He was really putting people in the dirt. So it's unfortunate that when he gets his life together, figures things out, and becomes a better person, he gets packed. But that's just payback for the shit that you was doing when you was younger. You see what I'm saying? Am I out of pocket for this? That's just kind of like what I've been getting from it.
I feel like because you understand the callousness of the nature of what you're of what you're presenting, I won't necessarily say you're in the wrong for it. I will say I feel like that's very simplistic view. Because
no, it is more to it than that. It is more to it than just that. I'm just saying it's just like we can't ignore that either.
Yes and no. It's like this, right? You rappers, as you say, the statistic is that they've been dying at a rapid pace.
Right.
But at the same time, what sample size are we using? Are we only using big name rappers? Are we using all rappers across the board, no matter how popular, how not popular? Because rapper is one of those professions where you can be it as long as you say it.
That's
and
true.
No matter how much clout or lack of that you have, if you die and you've released music to a degree and you've been introducing or saying what you are, you're a rapper. So that broadens the horizon.
I'm more so for me specifically. I'm saying the relatively popular people that make money off of rap, an exceptional amount of money off of rap, like PNB Rock and Pop Smoke and Nipsey, like guys like that. I'm not talking about the average
Pop Smoke and PNB. Yes, but other than that, like King Von, I feel like he was up and coming. I feel like he was also in those realms where he wasn't fully like there's different levels of celebrity,
fame,
and rap,
that's true,
and all that, to where there's ones where you have enough
and
to
King
where
Von was still in the trenches too. He wasn't a changed man.
Yeah,
I'll take that for him. He wasn't like PNB and like Nipsey Hussle. Those guys were like trying to be better. You see what I'm saying? Trying not to be in that no more. King Von was still drilling, so to speak. So
yeah.
I mean, I guess that don't really count for him.
But
per se.
But just with them as statistics, I just feel like there's different degrees of notoriety and fame. Like there's people who, like you said, are trying to distance themselves from their old life. And there's people who wants to balance their old life and their
still
celebrity. Yeah, and so with that, because you have those things, and then you have the varying degrees of popularity and stuff like that, you're probably gonna see a rise in deaths of rappers, especially if the rap is based around that type of stuff.
Acts,
yeah, and we're in a society that believes, at least in terms of black culture, that if you're gonna rap about stuff like that, you have to live it.
You gotta actually do it, right?
Yeah, and so as long as you continue to do that, you're gonna see an influx of violence, because that's where violence comes from, is from drug trade. Because
niggas want to test you too. They're like, oh, he said he killed niggas. Oh, okay, well, let's see.
I don't know if it's
That's
testing, because I can't think of many instances, even in like on the lower end of the celebrity spectrum, where rappers are dying from situations that weren't related to something that they were already a part of before. So I don't know if it's testing. Maybe off of like street encounters where it's like, oh, I fought PNB, or I fought such and such and he didn't do anything, or stuff like that. Stuff is testing. But I feel like when it comes to murders and stuff like that, that's not people testing it. That's not people testing your shit. That's something like someone had an issue with you beforehand, and this is the way they decided to solve it as per street rules. And that's something that I feel like it's not fair to say that because it's not as reflected in other disciplines that can receive fame, that it's something to do with the lifestyle rappers. I just feel like it's something to do with the lifestyle of which, like, I guess the current rap is influenced by. Like, if all the people in the hood decided they wanted to be actors, there would be a rise in actors' death. Like, it would, it ain't hip hop doing it. I guess that was
my point. That was my point. It was just like, you don't see comedians and actors and TikTokers getting packed up.
It depends on what type of comedian they are. if we're talking about mainstream comedians, usually they like comedy does arise from tragedy, but it's a certain kind of tragedy, and then it comes from what the most amount of people are aspiring to be. Not as many people are aspiring to be comedians as they are rappers. Like everybody could get into a booth and write a 16, put it over a beat, get a hook, and boom, you're considered a rapper.
Get their iPhone and shoot a little video or something.
Like to be a comedian, like you can shoot a video of you doing a skit or something. Even then, that's not really considered you being a comedian. That's you being in comedy. But to be a comedian, you got to go up somewhere and do a set.
Yeah, you're not a comedian.
Like, it's different levels of accessibility of entry, and so because of that, you're gonna see a lot less of people like entering one profession, one entertainment section, one whatever you want to call it, than you would see another. And because of that, you're going to see a lot
more accessible.
You're going to see a lot of the same stories told differently in comedy because of the accessibility. Like one, you'd have to have access to a comedy club that takes first timers and stuff like that. You have to be willing to do sets.
Actually be good.
Yeah, it's always a layer and stuff like that. I will say, in terms of with PNB, his situation, I feel like, isn't a fair reflection of that because he was trying to, like you said, distance himself. The thing that was kind of bringing it home was the fact that his significant other at the time is one of those girls that likes to put information on social media. She literally put their location. I think someone, like some article said that they had a fight like later, like maybe 2 weeks earlier about doing that. Like he didn't feel comfortable about her putting her location.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's even reports saying that he took her phone away, or took her social media away when she was with him because he didn't feel comfortable about doing that, and she was upset about that. And I guess when she got it back, that it led, I think it almost like a couple days led into the Roscoe, like
chicken and waffles.
And posting the location and people coming up there and shooting them. There's even been talks of it being a potential setup by her because she's done it, I guess, on multiple occasions, and it led.
We already talked about it. And you just ignore it.
Well, not even past that. There's been multiple occasions where she's posted locations, and it led into like a testing situation or like a robbery situation, and she was like, he was like, why are you doing this? Like, this is dangerous, whatever. And she kind of like shrugged it off type of thing. At least that's what articles are saying. Whether that's true or not, who knows? Right. If it is though, she was moving real weird to the point where I would kind of believe it's set up.
Regarding that, if I get tested like once or twice after you did that and we had a conversation about it, I'm not fucking with you no more because you obviously don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. It's proven that you doing that then put me or us in a precarious situation. So after one or two times, it was not one but two times, because the first one is just like, hey, don't do that no more. 2 times, shorty, I'm just not, or you can't come with me nowhere. Which, if that's the case, I might as well not be fucking with you. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. Second, I will say, I guess you can say, quote unquote, on her defense, they were in a very shitty neighborhood apparently. Like the motherfuckers, some people was tweeting like, why the fuck was he at the Roscoe's on Main? With mad question mark. Like, and multiple people were saying, why would he go to the most ghetto ass Roscoe's? He said niggas don't even want to work there. So, and one dude said, I live down the street from that Roscoe's. I don't even go to that motherfucker.
I thought that was.
So why would PNB go to?
I thought he was at the Roscoe's by the airport. They said he was.
No, it was on Main Street. They said that's what people were saying. They said he was at the. That's Twitter though. If an article says that, I feel like an article probably made more sense. Yeah, the
article said, Twitter. At least from what I heard and seeing, an article said that he was at a Roscoe's that was like not in the hood, like it was like by the airport, like the one that tourists go to.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So, if that's true, then she probably. I'm sure she's grieving, so I don't want to. A lot of people have been on her bumper, but It just don't look good, honey. It really don't.
Yeah.
It look like you set that man up.
Nah, for real.
But RIP to PNB. I do understand that I probably was out of pocket. What did I say?
RMP.
I said did I? That's gross. That's so fucking gross.
RIP.
RIP to PNB.
Rest in peace.
I do understand that what I said was out of pocket in a way. That's just something that I kind of believe in. I just feel like if you promoting that, which PNB hasn't been most recently, but he does have a past as well. If you're promoting that or you've lived that, you're kind of welcoming that energy in. Anything can happen to anybody, don't get me wrong. Like, anybody could get robbed or whatever. But I feel like if you've been living that or promoting that in your music or acting a certain way or portraying yourself a certain way, you're inviting that energy in. So when it happens, it's like, well, I mean, bro, you was putting it out. You was putting the energy into the universe that's what you wanted. Mm-hmm. That's is what I'm saying. Not purposely. I'm assuming nobody wants to get packed, but like you're what's the word? Not I guess subconsciously putting that energy out that you want to get packed. That's my whole point. And I feel like rap has evolved so much that motherfuckers shouldn't have to talk about that shit in their music no more. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we've gotten to a point where rap is just so big that you can rap about whatever, as long as the beat is fire. You got a little catchy song, you good. You shouldn't have to be continuously drilling. We talked about FBG Duck too in one of our conversations, or I talked about him. That's another situation. He refused to he was more extreme. He refused to let go of that hood shit, that gang banging, selling drugs, killing people shit. And he ended up laid out in the middle of the street in broad daylight. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like, I just don't understand the appeal. I understand trying to survive. I understand you gotta do what you gotta do. But like, eventually, when do niggas just be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't kill each other? You see what I'm saying? Maybe we should just be, murdering each other just because you live on this street and I live on this street, or I wear this color, you wear this color. But that's a whole nother conversation, Rick. We can go on to the next thing.
Yeah. What was next on there? Was it Jake Paul?
Oh, yeah, Jake Paul. So apparently, Jake Paul will be fighting Anderson Silva in a boxing match. I don't know the date of when it's supposed to be, but it's a confirmed fight. I have a little bit of stake in this because Anderson Silva was like one of the first UFC fighters to get me into UFC at all, because he was hot back in the day or whatever. With this fight, I no disrespect to Jake Paul. He's proven himself to be a decent to good boxer. But if he beat Anderson Silva, bro, it's fixed. I feel like it's fixed. I'm sorry. If he beat Anderson Silva, like knock him out, maybe by decision, maybe. But if he knock him out or some crazy shit like that, mm-hmm. It's fixed, bro. I'm sorry. What you think, Rick?
I don't know. I feel like it depends, because it's like, what's the best way to put it? Because Anderson Silva is a very big name in MMA, right? There's nothing that can take that away. But boxing,
he was arguably the GOAT at one point. You could argue,
but boxing is a different realm, though. Boxing, while similar, is also very different. Like, don't get me wrong. While it's like the chicken before the egg conversation, because while it's easier to go from MMA to boxing than it is to go from boxing to MMA, very few people who are in MMA who transition to boxing really make a name for themselves.
Well,
as of the reverse, because it just before you break it down, boxing is a lot more stamina related than MMA is. Even though, don't get me wrong, people are gonna be like, "What do you mean, Rick?" Well, the rounds are longer. There's more rounds, so 3 rounds in the MMA 5 for a championship fight versus 12 rounds in boxing.
Period. Every fight.
Yeah, and
sometimes 15. Sometimes 15.
Yeah,
then,
so that's already a big jump, right? And then your options for ending a fight are severely cut in comparison to going from MMA to boxing. So people have had a lot more success going from boxing to MMA because let's say a boxer doesn't have they're pretty good boxers. They don't got to be really good, but let's say pretty good amateur to pro boxers, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't have that thing to make them like really pop. Like they didn't have the Mayweather, the Triple G, the Canelo, the Pacquiao. Like they didn't have that effect, right? But they were pretty good, mm-hmm. right? Right. And then they were able to enter a sport where now all they have to do is pick up one other discipline, which could be any discipline from jiu-jitsu to wrestling to kickboxing to Muay Thai. Pick up an additional discipline, and now they have 2 weapons to use against an opponent to end a fight, really, right? And so as long as you have a good base in one form, you can pick up a lot of different stuff in MMA, and it translates very well. Usually wrestling. Wrestling is one of the most dangerous forms of martial arts that's ever been created. It translates to real world more than any other thing. Maybe jiu-jitsu, but even then, joint locks and all that stuff and groundwork is very dangerous to do in a real life situation, not only because of concrete, but because of multiple attackers and all that stuff. If you know fighting, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you can always comment, and I'll explain more, maybe in a breakdown video or something. But
yes, sir.
It's very dangerous to use jiu-jitsu in real life because of how vulnerable you are if it's not a 1v1 situation. With wrestling, scoop slam, move on to the next. Like you don't have to do much on the ground after you scoop and slam someone onto the earth. Like the earth is always going to win.
Do the rest of your work.
Yeah, you versus the earth. Earth wins 100% of the time.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And so wrestling is the most dangerous form of martial arts because it translates so well to everything else. So if you have a solid background in boxing and wrestling, and I mean by solid, I mean if you're at least a pro in boxing and like a high tier amateur to maybe pro-ish level in wrestling, you'll probably be like a top 5 fighter in your division. Don't reach Olympic wrestling because at that point you'll have the title.
If you a pro boxer and an Olympic wrestler, you probably a problem.
Yeah, no, you're not probably. You're definitely a problem.
Yeah, that you should stop accounting because you got a job somewhere, my boy. Mm-hmm. No, but my point with I get what you're saying, Rick. And Rick, you do know more about like fighting. Like I'm a wrestling guy. Like I'm a WWE guy. I don't know much about the real beef and shit like UFC and boxing and all that. A little bit of boxing, but like you know more than I do. But I will say this from my novice knowledge: Anderson Silva know how to move.
He does.
So I know that for a fact. I don't know how high of a boxer he is, but I know that motherfucker know how to move, and I know that's a part of boxing. Again, Jake Paul is very good, but Silva's ability to move, and then I'm sure he's at least decent at boxing. I don't see Jake Paul beating him, bro. I just don't see it. Even if you break it down to me, I just don't see it. With his moving ability, Jake Paul not being like he's a amateur, possibly pro level boxer, in comparison to Anderson Silva's elite moving ability, and he's been fighting for like 20, 30 years. I just don't see Jake Paul beating it. If he knock him out, like decision, maybe. But if he knocks him out, it's fixed, bro. I can't take them seriously no more.
Well, the thing is, you got to take in age differences. Like Anderson Silva, pro fighter, but he's up there in years.
Yeah, he is.
Jake Paul, he's not like some random Joe off the street. He at least trains like a boxer. Like he's not half-assed like his brother. Logan, if this was Logan and Anderson Silva, I wouldn't even.
You think Logan is half? I could coach. I feel like Logan takes wrestling more seriously than he takes boxing.
Like wrestling, like WWE wrestling.
Yeah. He's been in WWE, and they talking about like getting that nigga full time. Like,
no,
so he really is. He's really good.
Yeah, no, I for a fact thinks he takes a lot of things more serious than boxing. If you think out of the two brothers, if you think Logan takes boxing more serious, then you don't watch.
Yeah, he don't.
You don't watch your training. One of them Jake definitely really takes.
Be in the lab.
Yeah. And he's had actual
not that
fights.
Logan don't. Logan puts work in too, but
it's not the same because one, Jake has had actual fights, like not celebrity boxing matches and not the creators boxing matches for the big purses against fighters type thing. He's had legitimate boxing matches. So that already puts him above Logan in that regard in terms of who takes it more serious. It's not even a question. The only thing Logan really has over him is I think weight and reach. And at that point it's not super negligible to the point where it's like an overwhelming. It'll just be it'll have him at a slight disadvantage. But we've
what
seen
about that big brother syndrome though?
No,
big bro, man.
We've seen like him box Mayweather. We've seen the type of blows he throws. He throws a lot of haymakers because of his reach. Because of his weight,
he's trying to get the knockout.
Yeah, he's not sharp like that. In terms of going the distance, sharp is what you need. And if he's gonna throw stuff like that against someone who actually trains to be a boxer, he's gonna get picked apart.
And if they fight, Jake gonna be trying to put him on his ass. Yeah. I know he is, because it's not blatant, but they got a subtle little like rivalry thing, which all siblings do. I feel like Logan will be like, oh, just my brother. Jake gonna be trying to put that nigga on the ground.
Yeah, probably. But I don't know. Anderson Silva is a weird choice. He's older now. He had a debilitating leg injury that people forget about that he was recovering from. I've seen him.
He didn't
still
fight
train.
Again after that, did he?
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Not after the second one.
Oh yeah! Oh, he did have to. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, okay. He broke his leg the same way another dude broke his leg off of him fighting that same guy. So I don't know. I've seen videos of him training with his sons. I'm not sure how much that translates to how much time and effort he puts in. Anderson Silva is anything if a warrior, so I don't think he's been slacking, especially if he took a fight. I'm just not sure what this all translates to, and plus I don't know what the clauses of contract are. I know with the last
what they can and can't do.
With the other stuff, I know they kind of moved away from knockouts in terms of like when Logan fought Mayweather. They moved away from knockouts.
That was for Logan's sake. That's different.
That's the thing.
Floyd was gonna knock that nigga the fuck out.
You can't split hairs on that. If we're talking about big names or we're talking about big purses, we don't know what the contracts are. We don't know what each party was liable to want their own asset to go through in terms of potential injuries and whatnot. So you just never know. And because of that, it's just at the end of the day, I just don't like this fight because it's very weird. It's a weird pick, especially because he was slated to fight an actual boxer around his age, his size, that he trained with before. Yeah, that got canceled. That was very suspiciously canceled. And it seems like it was from Jake's camp, especially after the video of them sparring for one of his other boxing matches, and Jake was literally running away from him in the ring.
Yeah, so working it. Yeah.
So that's weird that fight got canceled and this fight got picked up. So I just take that with a grain of salt.
Well, I think Jake probably is somebody that don't know him, like fighting wise, and somebody that don't. The sparring partner probably gonna whoop his ass because he didn't fought the nigga.
But they both fought each other, so it's like it's not like he's.
But it's not a video of the sparring partner running away, is it?
Yeah, I'm not saying that's not the case, but I'm saying it's weird to go from someone you're worried about beating you to one of the biggest names in MMA and feeling more comfortable with that fight versus the other. Like that's the suspicious part.
Maybe Jake is a crazy white boy. Maybe in his twisted mind, he's like, this motherfucker's old. I've never fought him before. I could beat him. This motherfucker I can't beat.
This isn't going to be a real fight.
Because he know me.
I feel like if you're looking for...
You think it's fake?
If you're looking for... Yeah. I don't think it's fake. I think it's going to be more like a simulated sparring match. If you're looking for a real boxing match, I don't think this is going to be it. I could be wholeheartedly surprised, proven wrong. I would be happily proven wrong on this and actually be a fight. But I'm thinking it's going to be like Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't Holyfield. He didn't fight him again.
Yeah, it was Roy Jones.
Yeah, okay, I can see. Okay, well if that's the case, then cool. I just took it as they was taking it seriously. But if it's like very exhibition like that was, then okay, I'm fine with that. I'll shut the fuck up. But if they beefing for real, like a real fight, get the fuck out of here.
I just feel like it's very suspicious. It just doesn't.
It is. Which again, the Paul brothers are doing this for entertainment purposes. They're YouTube they're guys from YouTube that blew the fuck up. This is just entertainment for them. This ain't like, I'm sure they care about boxing, and I don't think they would do it if they just didn't enjoy it or whatever, but this is just all the shit they do in the boxing realm is just for more shock value, more entertainment, because that's what them boys is about. They've been like that since they was little kids on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So if the shit is like scripted or fake in a way, I wouldn't be surprised. It's just don't like WWE. You know WWE is fake. You see what I'm saying? I don't like the John Cena really got put through that table. He's really like, come on, man. Like don't pander to me. And I feel like that's what the Paul brothers is kind of doing.
Well, that's what they've been doing though. So it's just like
that's just their content. Okay, well never mind.
Especially when it comes to boxing, it's giving a lot of people purses that they wouldn't have got in their respective sports. Shout out to the UFC, the worst combat sports in terms of taking care of their assets has ever existed. So it's given a lot of people chances to make more money than they would have in their career. You got to shout them out for that.
I will say, I feel like I said this before. If not, I'm saying it now. Jake Paul specifically, super shout out to him for like just being a voice for the fighters. Because he seemed like the only motherfucker that be trying to like get them more rights and get them more.
He's definitely for the fighters. Money. Yeah, he's definitely for the fighters.
Super shout out to him.
And so that's why I don't look down on this, but I just don't take it seriously.
Okay, all right. Well, that's my fault. I think it's because I was an Anderson Silva fan, so seeing that I was like, get the fuck out of here. I just got an attitude, I guess.
Now, Jake Paul was fighting Roy. If he was fighting John Jones, I'd watch that.
Ooh, Mr. Steroids himself.
Yes, sir. I'd watch that in a heartbeat. Roy Jones. What? Not Roy Jones. What was that? John Jones. Roy Jones. Yeah. He's already fought.
Him fighting Roy Jones
would make more sense. John Jones, John Bones Jones in the ring with Jake Paul. Even if it's just boxing. It'd be a sight to see.
It would be. Jake Paul was trying to fight Nate Diaz.
I can see that. That's also within his realm. Someone who's on their way out of the UFC. Some not debilitating injuries, but a lot of concussions. It wasn't very known for his striking, in terms of at least the efficiency and the sharpness of it. He was more of a showmanship. The Stockton slap, the disrespect during the fights, the tongue out, bleeding, saying basically bring it on, smacking, like I said, the Stockton slap, smacking people in their faces during the fights. Like, that's Nate Diaz. That's what put Nate Diaz on the map. I'm not gonna, like, if I'm looking for one of the best strikers in the UFC, I'm not calling up Nate Diaz to the plate.
Nate Diaz, okay. It's some. I was gonna say fight clubs. Fight clubs is crazy. It's some like dojos and shit in the city. We go to a fight. RMP goes to a MMA fight.
Yeah, well, as soon as I'm saved up to recuperate from this Vegas trip, I'm already signing up to WNY MMA over on Great Arrow.
Oh, word!
Shout out to them. Yeah, that's where our man's
going crazy.
That's where our man's from Kappa go. I won't say his name on here because
I was about to say
never know how.
Too. I almost,
you never know how people feel about that. But yeah, he goes there. Another one of our mans from high school goes there. He used to go there.
Somebody I've done music videos for and do like film work with, he also goes there.
Yeah, so the only thing I needed was just disposable income, which I don't have yet, but I will soon. So
right. Yeah, do you think, Rick? Are you going really like? Are you trying to like? Are you just trying to learn something?
Yeah, I'm just trying to a good workout, learn some skills along the way. Will I ever do an exhibition fight? Who knows down the line? I'll say this. Without a doubt, I'll do a jiu-jitsu tournament. Without a doubt.
Ooh.
I'll do one of those, no questions asked. Not because they're less dangerous, just because it'd be something I'd be more comfortable jumping into versus a full fight. Because then there's you got to do the cuts, the weigh-ins, the actual fight itself, the recovery after the fact. God knows, you could get choked out in BJJ, but I can't get knocked the fuck out unless someone does something very illegal and strike me. So
right. I'm gonna be there for that, Rick. If you do that, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna be there.
I definitely we could even do my prep to the tourney.
Oh yeah, I like that. I could fake train you like the nigga from Rocky.
Yeah.
Little fat dude from Rocky. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, Paulie, we'll do that. I like that. So stay tuned, y'all. Rick is going to be the light heavyweight, world heavyweight champion in the UFC very soon. You heard it here first on our.
That's a crazy thing to call out. There's a lot of good people in that division.
Rick, what else we got? It was something that you mentioned like a couple weeks ago that you kind of put me on to.
So I don't know if anybody's been keeping track of this. The Mississippi water crisis, very reminiscent of the Flint. If you haven't been keeping up, in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, specifically, there's been an ongoing health crisis in and around the city since August last month, after the Pearl River flooded due to severe storms, which caused. Let me get the full breakdown here because. Let me get the full breakdown here. Okay, yeah. So because the Pearl River flooded, it caused the O.B. Curtis water treatment plant, which, if you know what a water treatment plant, it's what makes regular fresh water, well, fresh air quote. It's what makes like fresh water from like rivers, lakes, rain. It makes it drinkable. You can drink those without this, but you're more likely to get sick.
A little dangerous.
That's when you'll get a different color. It's not in the same level as Flint, where like the water was like basically poison, but it's still very dangerous to drink. A lot of microorganisms in there, bacterium, and the like. And so it's the city's largest water treatment facility, which was already running on the backup pumps due to the failures months prior. To stop the treatment of drinking water indefinitely, which now resulted in 150,000 residences in the cities being left without access to safe drinking water. And so that's been going on since August.
Damn.
So they don't even have water to like shower with, basically, let alone drink.
Oh, they can't even. Oh shit.
Yeah.
So basically, the Flint shit. So basically, America ain't gonna do shit. Basically.
Well,
because with Flint,
Joe Biden declared a federal disaster to trigger federal aid. The crisis is it's triggered a political debate regarding racial discrimination because people haven't shifted as fast to help them as they would have in other areas. Another thing I would like to highlight in this situation is that the governor of Mississippi was seen with water reserves connected to his house. So and he's also
the official's gonna protect.
Well, that's the thing,
first
but
anyway.
he's also been against, like kind of getting some federal aid down there and figuring out the situation, which is why I highlight the fact that he's
been against helping his community.
Well, it's not his community; he's the governor.
Oh, right. So it's not.
And the mayor's been beefing. The mayor's been beefing to get all that stuff, and the governor's been basically like, "Hold on now, we'll do what we can."
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, and
it's. I mean, I know officials, like high governor officials, don't give a fuck about me. I know that, but then when it's like blatantly put in my face like that, it's just like, damn, come on, bro. At least like it's like a nigga like it's like a nigga like trying to rob you or something. It's like, bro, just take my stuff and keep it moving, bro. You don't got a pistol with me and all that. You see what I'm saying? Like, just take my stuff, keep on going. Like, all the extra stuff is ridiculous. Blatantly spitting in the people's face is crazy. That's basically what the dude's doing. And you have a water reserve specifically for your house, and you're saying, oh, let's just hold off on fixing that for whatever. What reason do you have to not rush fixing a city's water?
Budgeting. People saying it's possibly a budgeting issue, infrastructure.
Come on, man.
Because like I was saying before, the water pumps were on backup reserves before this because of failure a month prior, and because they're thinking it could be trying to shift.
Wasn't that
they could be trying to shift out local demographics, some redlining stuff. There could be a whole lot of.
Get the niggas out.
Yeah, it could be a whole lot of reasons why. It could be something to do with state funding. Like, if we take this federal funding now, then we won't get like stuff water, on the funding on the funding back end later. Is it right? No, but these are all just things that could possibly
like water
be taken into account.
Shouldn't be debatable. That's crazy. That should
they debated. They were debating water. They were debating water during Flint. I don't know what to tell you.
That's why Flint didn't get the help, right? Yeah. No, I get that. I know that's what's happening. That's what it is. I'm just saying, like, from my just hearing it, it's like, why is cleaning water debatable, bro?
I don't know. Honestly.
What the fuck? Like niggas is like legitimately evil as hell. like you know how on TV in little cartoons the villain always try to like fuck up the water reserve or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's motherfuckers really like that.
Yeah, the world is.
It's really niggas like that.
The world
That's
is
crazy,
a different place, especially because in February, because of a winter snowstorm, it shut down the water treatment plant, leaving residents without water for a month. The city leaders asked for $47 million.
In the same place?
Yeah, hold on. They asked for $47 million for the sewer repairs, but received only $3 million.
Oh wow, that's great.
So that could have been what also led into the breakdown the month before, is that they never fully got it fixed the way they wanted to get it fixed in the first place.
Wow. Water is debatable. Clean water is debatable. Wow. That's great. Even like just hearing that, like I feel like any human being, even if you somewhat evil, just hearing that is just like crazy to be like, oh well, man, we got to pay for this other shit later on. Like, nigga, it's the water, bro. It's
well, when it doesn't directly affect you, it's easier to kind of shrug that stuff off.
I get, okay. Even okay, yeah. That's overly depressing. Oh. And I'm broke. There's nothing that I can do but talk shit on my podcast. That's unfortunate. Does Flint? I don't even think Flint fully got like they clean water back, right?
I think that's also a weird situation out there. I'm not sure how much of it is due to funding lack of thereof, or because the funding wasn't put where it was supposed to be going, because of greedy and or corrupt government officials.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't checked in on Flint in a long time. I don't think a lot of people have. So I don't know what's going on over there.
Only thing I've seen is I've seen people on TikTok say they still don't have clean water,
which could be true
in some areas. In some areas, I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also dog shit because that was how long ago was Flint? Was we in high school when that shit happened?
Yes, I believe so. When it first
Jesus
initially
fucking
happened.
Christ. Wow. So basically, to sum this up, Jacksonville is just not, Jackson, Mississippi is not going to have clean water for the next decade, basically. That's basically what we're saying at the moment.
Yeah. Well, you got to take the good with the bad.
I don't think this is a good with the bad. I think this is slums below the ground.
Yeah. No, there just isn't a good outlook for the situation. Right now,
the governor chill out, y'all. We just opened a new mall. Y'all tripping, bro. What the fuck are you saying right now, dude? Oh, wow.
But they did win an award for coverage of the water crisis recently, so that's gonna really help with the relief. So hopefully that puts them in a better situation in the next couple weeks here.
Sending, I guess, good vibes to everybody in Jackson, Mississippi. That's all I can do. I hope somebody in the hierarchy's heart changes and they decide to help y'all out, including Flint, Michigan, if you guys are still dealing with that bullshit that you shouldn't have to deal with because it is not 1842. So I feel like we're beyond past not having clean water as a society. You would think, but I guess it is what it is. Rick, let's go to something else.
Speaking of water, the new Little Mermaid trailer came out.
That's beautiful. Mwah, you amazing, Rick. I love you so much.
That was very homoerotic. Not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just pointing out what it sounded like. I am not an optimal man, so I will have to leave those. Advances.
I'm also not an optimal man.
Oh, you're not? Since when?
What's wrong with giving your homies kisses?
Since when?
Since when? I'm not. Listen, Rick. Like I told you before, if I was an optimal man and I'm still the way I am right now, that's doubly depressing.
Well, what would change that? You saying men have less standards or more standards than women?
Oh, whoa, no. I didn't say nothing like that. I just said if you got more options and you still buy yourself, if you're bi and you buy yourself and it's not fully by choice, then it's not good.
Well, I was just saying from the mindset of people be like, well, if you like men and women, you should never be lonely. But I'm like, well, if you're having trouble getting one, odds are you're gonna have trouble getting the other. Like, humans are humans. Like,
that's a good way to look at that.
You still gotta be able to talk. Like, you still gotta just because you have more options doesn't make you more a better human being or more personable. Like,
no, I like men and women.
So now I can talk to one.
Percentages should go up. It's like shooting jumpers, you know what I'm saying? Like, if
percentages wouldn't go up technically, because if let's say you had 1% chance of getting a woman, right? Mm-hmm. But now you throw into the pool of men and you have
men too,
and now you have equal chances of getting a man that you do a woman, which is what the joke is, right? That just makes it 2%, but it's over double the population, so that just makes it 1%. You see what I'm saying? That's that math fucking you up.
So you still buy yourself?
Yes, you buy, but buy yourself.
Buy yourself. Needless to say, I'm not an optimal man, unfortunately, because I feel like it'd be awesome to be optimal.
Unfortunately, it's crazy. I'm not an optimal man.
You don't want to be optimal, Rick?
You said that title of optimal? I just found that statement hilarious.
Because who doesn't want to be optimal, man? That sound fire, bro. That sound like you a superhero, dog.
Well, you haven't tried it, so you don't know if you are or not.
I don't want to get my cheek smacked, and I don't want nothing down my throat. So.
Well, you don't gotta be. There's bottoms and tops and rocks and bops.
Rocks and bops.
I just made those last two up, but
rocks and bops is nuts.
But you know what I'm talking about. There's different things you could be that doesn't necessarily have to be on the submissive side, right?
I also don't like men in that way. Like, I love you guys, and I think you guys are handsome.
But have you ever tried?
But that's a good question. You know, a lady at work said that it was like a bunch of. She was like the only lady there at the time. I don't know what motherfuckers was talking about, but she was like, she's like, did any of y'all like get y'all prostate tickled? And then all the niggas in the room got quiet as hell. Everybody was like, what the fuck, shorty?
That's a interesting.
You're going crazy. And then she was like, what? What's wrong with that? And everybody's like, nah, we don't, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, have y'all tried it? And motherfuckers was like, no. And she's like, well, you gotta try it. And it was like, I don't want to try it. I don't want to. That's the bottom line of it. I don't want to try it. I don't want to put nothing in there. Even though people say that not people say it's a proven fact, I guess. You have a G-spot in your ass, but I just don't want to go through that. I don't want to feel that. That doesn't sound too appealing to me.
Well, you have to go through it when you're like 40, whatever.
I'm not, Rick. I'm not, bro. I'm not. If I get packed up, I get packed up, man. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm sorry. I don't want.
That's not healthy.
If I get packed, I get packed.
Think about it like this, Steve. If you live a long time,
mm-hmm.
and it hurts to use the bathroom because you haven't gotten your prostate checked, that's just gonna suck.
That would be bad. But if it gets to that point, I'm on my way out anyway. If it's hurting to use the bed, then something is wrong, and it's beyond wrong. You probably on your way out at that point. You see what I'm saying? Like, consistently, like, everybody get the bubblies, but mm-hmm. like consistently hurting like that, you probably already got a problem. I would assume, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, like if you already like feeling some type of way and it's hurting to use the bathroom and you're a little bit further in age, you probably not too good, buddy. You might have to. Then at that point, getting checked ain't gonna do nothing because it's already over with. Basically, I'm sorry, that's fucked up. What was he talking about? We saw Little Mermaid, right? Little Mermaid.
Yeah, we were. Well, we didn't get that far, but yeah, basically.
Yeah. Little Mermaid, right? Is it Halle or Chloe? Halle Bailey.
Yes.
Is playing Little Mermaid. Yeah, Halle Bailey is playing Little Mermaid.
Yeah, because Chloe's the other
one. I believe, right. Yeah. I be getting them mixed up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know when we was talking about DDG. I don't even know who go with DDG. Like,
I think that was Chloe.
Whoever, I just like he winning. It's a Bailey sister. It doesn't.
Yes, sir.
It's a W. It's a W regardless. But one of the Bailey sisters, we believe it to be Halle, is playing Ariel in the new Little Mermaid movie coming soon. RMP is actually at some point going to react to that trailer whenever we get a chance to. But when it was first announced as well, but now that the trailer is out, and I guess I don't see what the difference was because the movie was happening regardless, but she seems to be getting even more hate. Like, people of caucus descent are making racist memes about her and calling her names, calling her ugly, saying Ariel isn't black, even though Ariel is a
fictional character.
A fictional character.
Giving scientific dissertations about why mermaids couldn't be black.
Yeah, why which mermaids
but they wouldn't be white either, though.
They'd be bluish green.
Yeah,
green tint.
They would be translucent, if anything. If they're sitting that far under the sea, they would be very translucent, transparent.
Like
they would have scales instead of skin.
Yeah, they found a fish as well that was literally translucent because they've been going deeper into the ocean recently. They saw a fish who was literally, you could see his brain. Because it was like when you shine the light on it, it's see-through. At least the top part of his head. So the translucent is very possible. If mermaids, if you believe in that stuff, if those creatures were real. And it's just like we've talked about race and stuff a lot on R&P podcast. It's just more, I guess, addition to the racism that black people face on a regular basis. And it's extremely unnecessary because it's just a fucking movie about a fictional character.
As long as I can watch a movie about China and their wall, but be suffered to basically follow the story of two white men, one of them being Matt Damon, I don't want to hear anything about this movie.
Also, too, in the 60s and 70s, I forgot her name. Elizabeth something, I forgot her name. She played Cleopatra, and she is a white woman, a fully white woman.
Well, Cleopatra is different because she was mixed. Like, she wasn't Egyptian full. She was like
Rick. She wasn't a white girl though. Come on.
No, that's fair. I'm just saying that's still not like it's like this, right? These are the two examples that I'll give every time, and I would love to hear someone refute me about it. Especially, if you got an argument, put it in the comments, please. I'd like to hear it. One being the Wall of China. There's no reason for us to be following two white men about some mystical event that was happening in China. Just doesn't need to be happening.
Doesn't make sense.
And two, the whole Gods of Egypt movie, which in the whole movie called Gods of Egypt, there was only one black person who played a god of Egypt, and it was, shout out to the GOAT, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. Everybody else was white. It was a movie called Russell Crowe Was an Egyptian God. You're gonna be like, well, if mermaids are mystical, then so are gods.
I thought you were gonna say something about Russell Crowe. Like that being
I would
if somebody in the comments say that, I'll strike you.
Not at all.
I'll fucking strike you.
What I'm saying is that if your stance is gonna be, well, gods are mythic in nature. And so it doesn't matter what race they are, then have that same goddamn energy for this mermaid. I could, just like you could be like, oh, there's many depictions of Ariel being white. I could give you millions of descriptions of the Egyptians, the Egyptian gods not even looking human, let alone white.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
They wasn't looking white.
Most of them depicted as they have dog heads and human bodies.
Bro, most of them are depicted using dark coal. They're always black. Black was a symbol of deity. Like they were all of darker, like not even darker skin. They were all midnight because it was something that was perceived as
melanin, baby.
as divine. It's not even on the point of melanin. I'm just saying that's just wrong to the depiction of these characters. And so if you're gonna have that same energy for a literal religion, then I better not hear a goddamn thing about a walking, talking fish person.
And to add on to
with her Jamaican crab. Movie. I don't hear y'all being like, why is Sebastian Jamaican?
Why is the crab Jamaican?
Why is the crab Jamaican? No one's ever had that issue before. You know why? Because you didn't have to see a black person. You just had to hear them, right? Y'all was loving Under the Sea.
Under the Sea. Under the Sea.
Y'all was loving Under the Sea.
They was banging it, Rick. They was banging Under the Sea. That is a fact. But also, to add on to Rick's point, basically just piggybacking, it's a fucking kids movie about a fucking mermaid. Mermaids don't even, well, we haven't confirmed, isn't confirmed to exist. It's a fictional fucking character regardless. Shut the fuck up, you stupid Caucasoid bitches. It doesn't fucking matter. It's a fictional character. If Ariel was a real character and she was a white woman, keep her a white woman. Cool.
And for the people out there who's gonna be like, well, you wouldn't be saying that if Black Panther turned white. I'm like, there's white versions of Black Panther. Yeah, no. If you could write me a story about Black Panther being white but still being the king of a mythical city, a mythical nation in Africa, which is what the root of the Black Panther is, who's been passed down for generations and generations, and his ancestors plotted on this land and built up this land forever and ever with the power of the secret herbs and the gods there. If you can make that movie with a white man, give it a fucking shot. Alright, everybody, this has been episode 66. I should have said that at the beginning again. I've missed it 2 times in a row. If there was anything that we talked about that you were interested in, feel free to have a discussion with us in the comment about it. We would really appreciate it. We love interaction. We love getting points across. We love debating. So anything you feel like you want to debate us on, get down there and we'll be down there to meet you. We there for all smoke. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you like the content. Don't forget to check it out on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Music, everything, basically. Everything you can get. We're still working on Tidal. The minute we got it on Tidal, you'll know, because we'll be shouting it from the rooftops. But yeah, just keep on the lookout for it. We're 66 episodes, not including interviews deep. So you'll have a lot of backlog. That's at least 66 hours of content, if not more. So feel free to check it out. Yep. That's literally just episodes. So don't forget to check it out. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, all the social medias, and hit that notification bell so you can get updated on when we drop. We'll be dropping a lot more consistently. We have a whole schedule that we're going to probably put out in something just to show you that we do it. We were supposed to do it on Instagram or something, so it'll eventually happen. And at the end of the day, you already know. All right. Bye.